So in the UK, we have a number of universities, all of whom are carrying out research, all of whom are carrying out teaching. But in this day and age where things are a little bit more financially stretched, we need to think about differentiation of mission of universities. The research-intensive universities are ideally placed to make these major breakthroughs in understanding the challenges that face the world. We're able to train the next generation of research leaders, and we're also able to interact with industry and commerce in a very effective fashion. I think we need to think about restructuring the models for universities in Britain. We have to perhaps think about changing the way that they're funded so that the research-intensive areas are protected so that they can make these contributions to the economy and to the global system. We also have to perhaps think about the way in which students are trained in universities, recognising that we want to broaden the mobility of students so that students perhaps can migrate from one university where they've studied for a couple of years and then move to another university which is more research intensive, where their more advanced studies might be most appropriately carried out. Britain's research intensive universities carry out research, we do teaching, but the research that we carry out is world leading, and the limited resources that we have available to support research must now be concentrated so that we can recognise and support the world-leading activities which we have in these half a dozen or so universities in the UK, which really are at the pioneering edge of global discovery. Our research and our research funding in Britain needs to be concentrated in order to maintain its world-leading position. We must consider sharing resources in Britain to make full use of the intellectual capital we have and the investment that we've made into equipment and facilities. And therefore, research-intensive universities should also be seen as national centres for collaboration so that we have a hub and a spoke relationship, that there can be a number of adjunct relationships between researchers in different universities enjoying the full research activity and strength of the major multidisciplinary research centres. If the funding doesn't come to the research-intensive universities in the next few years, we'll lose the world-leading staff because we're playing in a globally competitive market. We'll also fail to attract the international students that come to Britain to study because they know that a degree from a British university is a mark of excellence because we are world-leading universities. And so we would lose both the capability in the United Kingdom for developing ideas and implementing those ideas and translating those ideas into industry, as well as losing the advantage of being an attraction for the incoming international students. So we really are now at a crossroads. Britain can carry on declining gently, I suppose, good researchers becoming mediocre researchers as they get older and lose responsibility for their funding. Or we can have a transformation in our funding environment and our research environment so that we can sustain the jewels in the crown, we can sustain the world-leading institutions that we have, and we can keep Britain at the cutting edge of research and education in this world.